everyone, and welcome to the first episode of Being Present in Real Estate. I'm Danielle Shepard, and I promise that this will be an interesting look into the world of real estate. Um, Intro to me: who am I and why am I doing this? Well, I'm married, I have three dogs, Max the Mess, Harley the Horrible, and Indy the Instigator, which are three miniature schnauzers all with their own personalities. I'm a former educator, realtor, top producer, that's been with a corporate brand, and now in my own little boutique brokerage. Uh, so I am the broker of Always Here Properties, who decided to take that leap of faith, leave the corporate brand of real estate, and open this little slice of heaven in Central Texas. And like I said, during the height of COVID, um, and kind of go out on my own. I've never been on a team. I understand that that is what a lot of people like, and understand that it does work for some people, but it was just never something that I wanted to do. I always wanted to kind of branch out and just be on my own, but I do understand why it could be a good fit for some. So I opened Always Here Properties as a teaching brokerage because I am a teacher at heart. Um, and what I did is I took things I liked from the corporate brand, which CB, corporate brand, follow that along later. And then changed what I didn't like, and brought over the things that I did. And so I created this rather unique concept of a brokerage. And so a lot of people learn more about that. Different kind of commission plans that really haven't seen anywhere else. Different kind of everything. And really created what I think is this family type of brokerage atmosphere. But within that, I have realized that there is a lot of education, a lot of agent relationship building lacking in agents in the whole realm of real estate. Not just new agents, but in veteran agents as well. That well, we've just kind of forgotten why we've gotten into this business, and well, for lack of better words, we've just kind of lost ourselves a little bit. And some of that was because the last 3 years were just flat crazy. We were busy, and with being busy, some people just kind of lost themselves. Um, I worked a deal with an agent, pre-pandemic, and they were the best. They were so nice and so kind and responsive, and like literally the transaction could not have been smoother. Then during COVID, she wouldn't answer her phone, and I would text her, and she wouldn't respond. It was weird. Her voicemail said text only. I'm not going to call you. It was just a weird thing. But then she wouldn't even answer her text message. So I put in an offer 4 days before she would respond. Just the whole thing. They just would not communicate. Like the communication piece just wasn't there. And then even when she would communicate with me, she was just kind of rude and would not talk to me without being condescending, like I was bothering her. I mean, I get it. The last 3 years we were busy. I get that. But I anyway, I sent her a post, like even post closing, after closing, I was like, hey, I hope to do a deal with you again soon. I really appreciated you. I really kind of didn't, but I was trying to be nice about it. And I'll just never forget her response. I mean, think about it. This was somebody who was nice to me before the pandemic, and then like afterwards, she was like, "Do you want something?" So I'll just like never forget that. And I'm never going to forget how she treated me. It's that old adage, you never forget how someone makes you feel. So, so here in the past year, especially, I have been thinking about the culture and the climate of real estate. And I have been listening to other agents complain about their peers and their brokerages, their support system, the leads, the everything. And I've just been listening for the past 3 years. And it's been heartbreaking. And this is not, anyway, it's not where we should be. So anyway, I got to wondering. So I started wondering, why were agents being so unkind to each other? Why were they just tired? Was it, I mean, is it really that it's because the market was so crazy? Um, were they so stressed because there were so many deals because they didn't have systems in place to handle them? Um, were their egos just getting out of hand and they just, I don't know, were their egos out of hand because they were veterans? Were their egos out of hand because they were in their first year and deals were just falling in their lap and they were just like, ooh, real estate's easy. I got this. What? They were top producers, in their first year. And, you know, because everybody was a top producer the last 3 years. We really didn't have, you know, really, if you weren't a top producer in the last 3 years, now you got to wonder why. Why were you not a top producer? Because literally everybody was. Was it all the money they were making? Now I've heard some stories in the last couple of days where people are like, oh, of course, market slowed. It's really just gone back to the way it was before COVID. Market slowed. These people that made all this money in 2022 are now getting ready to pay taxes. Then the money in 2023 is not like it was in 2022, so they don't have the money to pay the taxes. So some people are kind of panicking a little. So we have to ask, was the money they were making, did money change people? Because, they say money changes people. So what was going on in the world of real estate to, just change people? So then I decided, maybe I needed to flip my thinking, get rid of the negativity, call it out on occasion, but focus on what really mattered to me, which was my clients, and my agent, and being always there for them, and kind of the name. So my name of my brokerage is Always Here Properties. People often ask me how I got the name because it's not the typical real estate company name. Like I didn't name it after myself. That's the typical, name your company after yourself because that's an egotistical thing to do. Want to leave my mark. But I didn't want to do that because that's pretty vain. But everybody does what's good for them. But I also thought about what agent would want to brand themselves under my name, like Shepard Real Estate. Who wants to be under Shepard Real Estate? That didn't make sense to me. And then you never know. What if I'm not Shepard very long? But anyway, now not that I'm getting divorced. No, don't tell my husband. Anyway, but I was talking to a past client and I was telling her about my conundrum about what do I name my business and everything, and she says, "Well, every time you send out a card, because I do personal cards, I do those kind of things. I always signed it. Always here for you. And if you ever need anything, let me know because I'm always here for you." She said, "That's what you should name your business." So that's how Always Your Properties was born. So Heather Finney, shout out to you for naming this company. Always be appreciative. So being that's how Always Your Properties was born. with that value proposition in mind that I am always here for my clients and now in turn for my agents. So, with this revision and positive mindset, I began to talk with others about being present with their clients and what that meant, both physically and metaphorically. So, that's what we're going to explore here in this podcast. Um, all the positive ways to be present in real estate, to be successful with hands on technique. We're going to put in some laughter in there because I got some funny stories. um, but really give you some hands on things to use in your day to day life. Um, Make sure you subscribe. We will cover episodes on prospecting, buzzwords of real estate. Not about the money. I say this all the time. My agents can attest that. It's not about the money. Um, Egos, checking your ego at the door, and so much more. So I promise I have a lot of fun stories to share. We're going to have a lot of fun. So I hope you stay tuned, listen in. But more importantly than that, remember why you're in this business and remember who you're here to serve. So stay positive and be present and subscribe and like for more. And we'll hit this ground running with our first real episode coming to you soon. Take care.